Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Sorry, it was in my brain all day and it just keeps coming out. Anyways, welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph, and I am the host of this show. This is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back for day 20, battle number 19 from the Great Prog War. This one was very interesting. I kind of had a feeling who was going to win it at the beginning, but nevertheless, I went through both albums, and both albums improved immensely for me in my second listen. That's what I look for, like I look, initially I listen to them, and sometimes when you initially listen to an album, it doesn't really grasp you right away. And for some bands, it takes years, but for these two albums, not so long. So we have the battle tonight is between Kansas, Point of No Return from 1977, and Gentle Giant in a Glass House, and I did not write down the release date on this one. So I'm thinking it was in the 74, 75 range. I could be wrong. Anyways, I'm sure somebody will correct me if I didn't get it. Anyways, so we'll do Kansas first because they were first on the list. This is a good album. I don't necessarily think it's a great album, but it's a good album, and it's grown on me each listen. I like it a little bit more. Some great, fantastic keyboards on the Spider and Paradox at the beginning of the album. Both of those are really great for that. I thought they were great songs for that. My favorite song, outside the obvious one, is probably Portrait, which Portrait, he knows. I gave this one a 7. I really like this song a lot. Then you have Lightning Hand, which is kind of a nice got some really nice kind of great guitar soloing on this particular track. Then of course we get to Dust in the Wind, which is truly is one of rock's most enduring songs. The only problem with this song I don't like is it makes me very emotional. I don't know why. It just reminds me of things that make me very emotional, and those violins do not help at all. They are very emotional. So it's not a track I like to listen to much for that reason, but generally speaking, I think it's a fantastic track and definitely a top 50 song of all time for sure. On the strength of that one song, this album is strong. Hopelessly Human is the final track on the album, and has a really nice piano opening, which I like quite a bit. And now we're going up against Gentle Giant in a Glass House. Okay, so I have acquired the taste. I mean, it's not the right album, but I have acquired the taste because the first album I ever owned by them, Three Friends, I had a hard time with that. I couldn't break down its barriers. I couldn't digest it, and I've never really warmed up to it, even now. But then the second album I had, which is Acquiring the Taste, it took a while, but it's just taken off. It's now coming up to a year on my playlist, and I've only had, since I started this type of playlist back in 2006. Only 2 albums have ever been on my playlist longer than a year, and one was the Songs from the Wood from Jethro Tull, and the other one was Animals from Pink Floyd. But this has topped that now, and it's a fantastic song. So this album that we're doing tonight, In a Glass House, because I've been able to penetrate the Acquiring the Taste, this was much easier for me to penetrate. This is a fantastic album. I can see nothing but masterpiece written all over this. Eventually, this will become, I'm almost sure it's going to become a masterpiece album. It's just that good. The Runaway is so good. I think it's my favorite track on the album, but it isn't that far ahead of some others. I really love the instrumentation on this particular track. It's fantastic. The guitar is so good. And then that vibrosizer is out of this world. Really think Kerry Meniere is just a great musician. Just some really good talent here. The next song, An Intimate's Lullaby. Some excellent instrumentation on this as well. The keyboards are fantastic. and they're so intricate. Like all that different instruments, and they just fit them together like pieces of a puzzle or a glove. Just so well orchestrated. The next song, Way of Life, another really magical song. Fantastic. Just the way they put things together is just so fantastic. I just love this tune quite a bit. Probably right up there with Runaway, my favorite. Experience is the next track. Some real good keyboard bits here. Nice bass, some nice flute here. Yeah, just really strong. I didn't give any. I gave every single song on this a 7 or more. The Reunion. I love the violin, so intriguing. I love the intricacies of the music too, really fantastic. And then the final song, In a Glass House, a really catchy riff. Just such a fantastic ending to such a wonderful album. So I know you've already kind of figured this out. So Kansas, as good as this album was and has gotten better with the second time listening through it, it just doesn't match up to Gentle Giant's In the Glass House. It's not really much of a contest either. I just think that it just blew it away, and I feel for the band that has to go up against them next, because this is a tough album to beat. I know Ben's predicted this album to win. I'm not sure that it will win, but it's definitely going to be there, I think. Just so good. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Which one of these two would you have picked? People are very different. These are very different albums. Like, they are not similar. Like, they're both prog albums, obviously, and they both have some great instrumentation. But I just think that the sound of the Gentle Giant album is so vastly different than Kansas. So it's really a different kind of a matchup. It's kind of similar to what we had last night. Like two very different sounds. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this album. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. And we'll be back again next week with the beginning of another week of battles. So take care and have yourself a good evening. Goodbye.